She tied a team high with 9 kills yesterday against Purdue. Last season at Miami, led the Hurricanes with aces. And Ella Wendell getting her first playing time of the season yesterday against the Boilermakers, put together 3 kills and a couple of blocks. For SMU, Nia Shimei continues her tear, a team leading 11 kills against Kentucky yesterday, also tied the season. Conference. These teams have a long, storied history against each other. Spent over 20 years as conference mates in the Southwest Conference, and nearly a decade together in Conference USA, another 10 years in the American Athletic Conference. Now Houston residing in the Big 12 and SMU in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Annie Cook will have first service for the visitors. Led the team with 17 assists yesterday against Purdue. Nia Shimei with her first swing. Shimei again, and just outside the line, point to the Mustangs.
Nia leading SMU in kills last night against Kentucky, starting off strong here, tooling the hands of the Cougs.
Here's Maya Tabron, graduate student, transfer from Colorado. Quick set to Barkat Ramon. She had 3 kills yesterday, but 4 errors on 16 swings, which led to a negative hitting percentage. Strong start to this one.
Yep, definitely looking to flip those numbers around. A lot of attempts, which if you're getting that many attempts in a game as a middle, you're passing in system, so you've got to find a way to execute. Left back who's cheating over in that deep 5, she was able to score.
Here's Ellie Bolton, one of 2 Mustangs in a libero jersey in this first set. Gentry Lamoran, the other, long on service. We saw this yesterday for SMU against Kentucky. That time it was Bolton and Brooke Frazier, but a new opportunity for coaches to have 2 liberos, to have both of them on the floor at the same time.
Can't do that, and one of them misses out on serving, which Coach Erger really likes Frazier's serve. So having to switch around the lineup a few times yesterday to try to find some ball control in the backcourt.
Lamoran sets it up for Jams, and Lamoran gets it right back. Tolan to Shimei, nearly had it into the campfire. Natalie Foster able to clean it up and put the ball to the floor. Let's check out the keys to the game, Chanel.
Houston has to mimic Kentucky's game plan last night. They executed the game plan at the service line. They got 9 aces, and they also have to be low error. Yesterday, they had 26 errors, giving away an entire set in their 3-set loss. So they've got to clean it up. SMU passing, 9 aces in 3 sets. They have all the right weapons. They just got to get the ball to Cullen more consistently to execute their offense.
Avery Shemitis, transfer from Pepperdine, unable to put it down. Light touch on service, but Houston able to keep the ball off the floor. Cullen, back set to Foster. Her second kill.
Foster is a force to be reckoned with anywhere she is on the court. We know that she is dangerous behind the service line. She's a huge block, and she's also great on that slide for the Mustangs.
3-0 run. Service continues for Frazier, flying into that Houston bench. Cougars keep it alive. Right back to Foster. No chance for Georgiadis.
So far, so good for Foster, pummeling it down the line, catching the foot of Houston's libero. Not good enough angle on the foot to come back on their side.
6-2 Mustangs. Another shallow serve. Shamitis trying to go cross court in that far corner, but could not put it down in bounds. The run continues for the Mustangs, and Houston needs an early timeout. A 5-0 scoring run for SMU and a 7-2 advantage in the first set against Houston in this ACC versus Big 12 matchup at Moody Coliseum. Favors Shamitis, denied by Frazier. Here's James Wheeler. That's out. SMU points.
I really like how SMU is starting the game at the service line. They're putting in one deep and they're mixing it up and throwing it short. So they're yo-yoing with Houston's serve receive right now, getting them out of system almost every ball.
Get it to Angela Grieve on the left side. She has no luck against this Mustang defense.
Celia Cullen bringing the energy early over there. Huge block on the right side, setting it up perfectly. Solo dolo for her.
2 blocks for Cullen yesterday against the 10th ranked Kentucky Wildcats. First one of this contest against the Houston Cougars. Houston finally gets a point back, ending a 7-0 Mustang run.
Much different start yesterday for SMU. They were fighting back almost all 3 sets, but they've got a good start ahead of them. Now Houston is the one trying to close the gap.
Here's Rebecca Rackison, redshirt senior out of Delaware, Ohio. Cullen to Jams, off of Lily Barron for the Mustang points.
James Wheeler so consistent for these Mustangs. Easy ball for Purdue, handled, going to Cullen. They know it's going to James Wheeler because she's pulled over to the left half of the court, but she finds those high hands, going for that 5-16.
3 kills already for Wheeler. She had 7 yesterday. Grieve again. Wheeler there for the dig, and Maya Tabron goes on the attack. Tabron again. Left side, Grieve denied by Foster and Cullen. Cullen to Foster. Longest rally of the set so far. Kate Corelli can't end it. Neither can Grieve. Nyesha May trying to put it in to the rally. She does.
What I loved most about that rally was Gentry Lamourant not really seeing the court at all yesterday, put on the libero jersey for today's match and digging heat down the line right off the bat.
Grieve denied by Cullen and Foster. Second block of the day for the Mustangs. And Houston needs to talk it over again. 2 quick timeouts before the Mustangs even get to 15 in this first set.
For sure, it's still super early in this season, and they've had a couple losses under their belt now, but they know that they have to learn from it, and they move on quickly. And those losses aren't to teams that I would say are bad teams. They're good losses. They just might have beat themselves.
Falling so far this year to Hawaii, Loyola Marymount, and Kentucky. Record highlighted by wins over Nebraska and Baylor. Both of those were sweeps. Voters in the top 25 poll as Jams Wheeler picks up her first ace of the season. Long time coming.
Long time coming for sure. Definitely feels good. She's kind of got a little bit of spin on that ball, which can throw the passer off, but She doesn't really miss much. She's not high air, just not super powerful behind the line.
First ace of the day for the Mustangs. Tabron there to meet Katie Corelli's attack.
Last night, SMU only had a team total of 6 blocks in those 3 sets. They're already halfway to that number right here, 15 points in the first set.
15-3 Mustangs, dominating thus far. Katie Corelli stood no chance there. Tabron and Foster at the net.
Make that 4 for SMU. They're all over it. Tabron, huge over there on the left side, shutting down that right ball.
Tabron did most of the work there, 99% of it. Foster creeps in and gets that statistic to her credit on the block assist.
You know, she's got to get some credit for going back and forth all day long. And, you know, they rarely get set, too. So you got to find ways to show that they're doing some work.
6-1 is the current run for SMU. From the back row, Grieve long on the attack. Thought she had it.
Arguing to get a touch from Grieve off the block. Not convincing enough to coach to pull out the card.
And Natalie Foster back at the line. She's already racked up 4 blocks in this one to go along with 3 kills. She's an ace machine. Going to Tabron, down the line, off of Rockerson.
We get a dime dig from Wheeler. Cullen put it in a good speedy ball to the outside. Tabron finishing it off.
19 aces so far on the season for Foster. A season high 5 in SMU sweep over Nebraska. They want her to continue to be aggressive at the line. Sometimes it results in errors like that.
Yes, Foster has a high risk, high reward serve. At the end line, it's either an ace or maybe it's flying 10 feet out of bounds. They don't know, but they're willing to take it because when it's in, the other team really struggles to receive the ball.
Wendell Long on service.
You know, if you're Houston, you got to serve tough, but from a deficit like this, you got to get the consistency. You have to give yourself a chance maybe to block or dig the ball. You have to make SMU pass.
First swing for Ramon does not go well.
Ramon versus Oakmore. Oakmore known for being the queen of the net, shutting it down all by herself with a big dive move to her left.
I should say first swing in a while. She had 2 early on in this set. That one strong from the Cougars side, trying to claw back. SMU has a 14-point advantage, though. Big mountain to climb for these Cougars.
Yeah, Shemaida's finding the, she's threading the needle down the line on that one. Gentry Limeran coming in for that seam ball, leaving about 2-3 feet wide open.
Chemay accepts the long pass and puts it down. Her 3rd kill. Chemay, Wheeler, and Foster each have 3.
Cullen pulled off the net to the left half of the court, pushing it all the way out to the pin. Nia Chemay finding room down the line.
Cullen with 8 assists. Chemay has 1. Okamore and Chemay there again, gets over them, and Cullen digs it out. Lamoran to Chemay. Ramon and Barron thought they had the block, but just travels out.
And this SMU block is doing a good job of honoring the middles on Houston's side of the court. They have been shutting it down, not stuff blocks, but she's not able to get past the net and forcing them to set their outsides.
Shemidas denied by Tabron. Here's Wheeler. Over the top of the would-be blockers. Okamore putting it down in front of Georgiadis.
Chimay coming through hot on that one, picking up that tip perfectly where Cullen can set up Okamore to finally put away that point.
Set one at the service line. Wheeler couldn't dig it out. Tabron going flying into the bench, almost into Coach Sam Erger's lap.
Yep, I'm glad her mouth didn't reach the brim of the chair, knocking a tooth out there. That would have been very disturbing.
SMU still a chance to match its most dominant set of the season. They beat Hawaii in the first set of the entire year, 25-7, but they won't be able to match that as Houston gets .8.
Yep, Lamoran overpassing that ball where Okamore, or sorry, not Okamore, Ramon on the other side, being able to just swipe the ball, putting it away nice and quick for the Cougs.
Boy, Barron puts it back in play. Quick set to Okamore. Long jams Wheeler, pointing to the bench, saying, I think that went off hands. Coach Erger deciding not to pull out the challenge card.
Yeah, Erger not wanting to waste it. They're 2 points away from winning this set, so they've got some room to try to side out here.
On that back line, ace for Barron, first of the day for the Cougars.
And SMU has made a lot of changes for some ball control. You see Purdue and Lamoran back there trying to get them in system.
Overpass, Angela Grieve takes care of it. 5-0 run for the Cougars.
That was 3 in a row ball handling errors for SMU. We see a change as Bolton enters the serve receive pattern.
Cullen to Chimay. Annie Cook able to dig it out. Here's Grieve, Okamore, and Chimay get SMU to set point.
Finally breaking that run from Houston out of system. They have time, timing it perfectly. Going off the hands of Houston, can't run it down.
Gentry Lamoran can close it out. Junior outside hitter from Decatur, but wearing the libero jersey today. Long on service.
She also has a high risk, high reward serve. She kind of has a hybrid, sometimes topspin. She'll mix it up, but it's either, again, it's an ace or it's going out.
Here's Georgiadis, 3-time conference libero of the year. Chimay ends set 1. We'll have first serve of the second set for the Mustangs. Unable to put that one down. Ramon on the attack alongside of Annie Cook.
Cook trying to hunt down a really tight pass there, putting up a ball one-handed at the top of the tape and scrambling to get it over, missing just out of bounds.
Along the right side, Katie Corelli, after Houston adjusts in between sets. Obviously accuracy a big issue, but it's hard to think of a big adjustment. They can make an adjustment big enough to deal with this balanced SMU attack right now.
Right, and Corelli's bringing that fire right off the bat. They had to do something quick after that first set, as they weren't even close to coming to win that match, so they had to make a change quickly.
Diving and unable to keep it off the floor, Natalie Purdue. And service will continue for Lily Barron.
Repeating back to Corelli. Strong swing on the first one and then throwing it in that off shot, as she wasn't able to get a really big approach there.
Two to 1 Cougars. Barron picks up the ace. Had 3 kills yesterday against Purdue. 4 digs already in this one, and adds the ace. Second of the day for the Cougars. Cullen to Okamore. Now jams Wheeler. Cutting that one, but Grieve keeps it alive. Okamore denied by Georgiadis. Down the line for Corelli. Free ball for Houston. Angela Grieve. Big heat.
Good grief, Angela Grieve finding that sharp tee bolt and trying to get a one-handed stab at it, but going off to the stands.
SMU scored the first point of the set. The Cougars have rattled off the next 4. Nisha May unable to end that skid. Grieve and Ramon at the net.
And we're seeing some attitude, some feistiness from set. A very different start for them, coming in hot here in set 2.
I imagine that was part of the discussion between sets 1 and 2. Let's find our killer instinct.
Right, we can definitely see that fight right now. Every single one of these Houston players has a different look in their eye. It looks like they're angry now. They have a little bit of fire lit up underneath them, and SMU has to respond quick, otherwise Houston's gonna do exactly what SMU did in the first set.
Okamore ends that 6-0 run for the Cougars.
Okamore finally finding her first kill of the night. Sorry, second. She's 2 for 5 in 200.
Next level legit is how Sam Erger describes Okamore, the transfer from Florida. Light touch from Grieve. To the other side, Corelli.
These right sides are loving this line shot. SMU has to make an adjustment and get to the pin, not giving them that much space because they are just hammering and hammering and hammering zone 5.
Here's Kate Georgiadis, unanimous preseason All Big 12. Point goes to the Mustangs. Took a moment, and we got the call from Lori Nelson, the high official position.
I mean, Nisha May hit that ball so hard. The ref was just trying not to get hit on the bounce off the ball, not knowing if that ball was in or out. Games 2-5, that's kind of how teams think of it, as, you know, you win one game to 5 and you move on to the next all the way up to 25.
Always good to add some fan-friendly changes in any sport. As Shmailov, no doubt about that one, well in front of the line. The elimination of the double from the setters, one thing that's fan-friendly certainly, and add in the communication from our officials. Doesn't leave announcers guessing about what's being challenged and what the ultimate call is.
Right, the only time it's a double is if the players send it over the net and the ball is spinning, but it allows setters to be more athletic. You're saving time for the viewers, and you're not ending games on a judgment call that could be really iffy. So they've just cleared it completely.
Corelli with the latest kill for the Cougars. She leads the team with 5. That's on 9 attacks. Hitting .333, the only Houston player in a positive percentage.
She has great vision. She saw James Wheeler make the adjustment. She got to the pin, but Foster wasn't there in time to close the block, and she found that gap.
Rebecca Rockison into the net. Second service error of the day for Houston. SMU has 4 of those.
Yeah, that toss looked a little too far out in front of her. I don't know if she was trying to be deceptive or not, but a little mishit coming off her hand.
James Wheeler nearly had her second ace of the day. Going to Tabron. The other side for Foster. Georgiadis is there. And Grieve nearly had it to the floor. Chimay, long pass. All SMU can do is send it over. Foster nearly had the block. From the back row, Lily Barron. Longest rally of set number 2 thus far. Tabron will try to end it. Can't do it. Georgiadis on the dig. Angela Grieve unsuccessful. These teams keep trading blows. Another chance for the Cougars to end it. It's the SMU block party that does that.
And the sense of relief on SMU's faces right now. They made so many defensive plays. Pins receiving so many out-of-system sets and not necessarily great ones, so finding ways to get it back over, live another day, and shutting it down at the net.
Angela Grieve. It looked for a moment there would be point to the Mustangs. We saw a hand motion towards the SMU side and then go towards Houston.
Up ref changing her mind as she's at the tape, and I think she had a clear shot of that going off SMU's fingers.
Ends a 3-0 SMU run. Tabron able to dink it over the top of a couple of would-be blockers for the Cougars.
And I really like this shot here. Tabron coming in hot. It's a good set, but she's hiding what she's doing until the last second, tipping it right over what we call a ponytail tip, just grazing the back of the blockers' ponytails.
Foster with a service error. Second for her today.
Now serving number 14, Ella Wendell.
Here's Wendell. First playing time of the season yesterday against Purdue. Service error for her. The sophomore from Pflugerville, Texas, racked up 3 kills, 2 blocks, 2 digs. Part of a losing effort as the Cougars were swept by the Boilermakers. Houston has dropped 2 in a row, both in sweeps. Wednesday at Texas, and then yesterday here against Purdue. Errant pass, trying to get it to Shemidas.
Yep, Shemidas coming in hot, but that set off the net, overrunning it, and just grazing, really slipping off of that right hand.
Reception problems for Barron, but Grieve keeps the ball in play. Tabron met by Shemidas and Ramon.
Georgiadis putting on her runners right here, diving into her own bench, saving that ball and shutting it down at the net. That is a big momentum play for Houston.
That's all Shemidas, the transfer from Pepperdine. Back home in the Houston area, a Sugar Land, Texas native after 2 years in Malibu. Cullen, quick set to Okamore. Katie Corelli extends the Houston lead to 5.
Corelli again coming in looking like she's going to maybe swing cross court, a little thumb down action, finding that end line down on the right side.
Annie Cook, another Houston area product from the Woodlands. Georgiadis was there. Chimay able to knock it off high hands for the point. 7th kill.
Chimay is doing her thing tonight, hitting .333, but man, I loved that dig from Georgiadis, a one-handed lefty stab going right over to SMU side, barely missing the top of the scoreboard.
Tabron at the line again. Dumped over by Annie Cook.
Sneaky play there by Cook. She's pulled off the net, which most defenders would think release because she's going to set an out-of-system ball to the outside. But no, that's a perfect time for her to throw it over because the wings aren't there.
Go back to 2020, Cook racked up all kinds of awards in the American Athletic Conference. All AAC first team, setter of the year, and freshman of the year.
She's a strong player, really strong leader for this team. Communicates really well with their hitters. They're able to adjust quickly and find what set's working.
Jams keeps the point going. Over on the free ball for SMU. Cullen to Chimay. Grieve hit the antenna.
Chimay now at 8 on a total of 16. Grieve reaching with everything she had there, not getting there in time, and the ball rattling off to the antenna.
Here's Ellie Bolton, transfer from Creighton. One dig so far in this one, had 5 yesterday against Kentucky. Ramon back in the action, her 3rd kill. Before that, 14 kills against Washington State. Chimay Georgiadis is there to keep that ball off the floor. Going to Chimay again, this time into the donut.
Chimay's first tip going down the line, Georgiadis all over it, but when you just move it slightly to the left, it causes a lot more confusion between the off blocker, the libero, and even the middle back.
Brooke Frazier checks back in and heads to the service line. A couple of digs for her so far. Jamison Wheeler is the leader in that category for SMU with 5. Kate Georgiadis has 8 digs for Houston, and that is some heat from Ella Wendell.
Ella Wendell, a very powerful swing right there. Trying to extend their lead even more. She's coming off, she's open, she's got a gap right between Cullen and Foster, executing perfectly down to zone 6.
Someone who did not play until yesterday against Purdue. Redshirt sophomore, middle blocker. Houston nearly picked up the ace. SMU reverses course.
Houston had a really tough serve there. Tabron mishandling it and Cullen throwing it up with one hand, putting over the off speed, trying to get that pancake, but it has to be your entire hand underneath the ball, not just a partial contact.
Tough angle for Grieve. Now Cullen to Foster. Foster has 5 kills on 7 attacks.
Foster and Cullen's connection on that slide is so good. She reaches so high, sees the court really well. She's able to hit that sharp, deep corner.
And UCF at the top of the American for several years. Now some fresh blood, winning titles in the AAC as both of these teams have moved on and found homes in power leagues. Angela Grieve back to the line. Still some great volleyball being played in the American as well as these two conferences. And Angela Grieve picks up the ace, 3rd of the day for the Cougars.
It's a great short serve there coming from Grieve. She puts it in short, going over Foster. Wheeler not being able to read it early enough to get underneath the ball.
Back to Chimay, a violation on the Mustangs, point Cougars.
Trying to execute that back row attack as they haven't really utilized it yet, so it wasn't predictable, but Chimay stepped.
Team serves. She says she will never have that busy of a time frame ever again on an SMU schedule.
Never again. She was like, the girls needed rest. So let's learn from our mistakes and maybe give them a couple more days in between these long matches.
Just 2 matches in a row for SMU, and the Mustangs have plenty of firepower left in the tank.
That was a happy birthday pass to Natalie Foster. She's taking care of business on that ball right over the tape.
She'll check out in favor of Casey Badenhorst. Badenhorst, the junior from Houston, played in all 3 sets yesterday. Picked up 1 dig as SMU fell in 3 to the 10th ranked Wildcats. Okamore and Cullen there to answer.
That's a great serving sub from Erger there, knowing that Foster has already missed 2 serves already, and Badenhorst is also a great server. That is the way she finds her time on the court, in a great block to keep themselves in this set.
Right back into the face of Ella Wendell. To the left side, powerful right arm of Barron. Sent over by Tabron. Barron met at the net. Point, Mustangs.
Okamore just waiting to eat this tip up. She sees it, hands are high. I mean, that's just a gift when you're that tall, and she's able to just snap it back over with those fingertips.
9th block of the day for SMU as Okamore and Cullen team up on the block assist. That's Avery Shemidas, the Pepperdine transfer. Ended her regular season for the Waves right here in this building last year. A battle between the West Coast Conference champions Pepperdine and the American champions SMU. Shemidas did not play in that match though.
Definitely a nostalgic moment for her to be back here in Moody Coliseum.
Native of Sugar Land. She was an All-American back in 2021 at George Ranch High School. Grieve can't handle that one from Tabron.
Tabron taking out the trash with that ball. They're out of system. She's receiving a bump set. Waits and times it perfectly, finding that open line down the space, down where Grieve can't get over there in time.
SMU trailing by 3. Cougars 20, Mustangs 17. Cullen looking over towards assistant Trent Sorensen and waiting on the whistle to return to play. There to dig out the attack from Barron. Light touch from Tabron. Georgiadis sends that ball over. Cullen to Tabron. Going down the line. Just wide.
I'm sure Tabron is upset with herself on that one, as they got a nice easy free ball. The middle wasn't there. She had 1 blocker and she tried to thread the needle too tight, missing just down the line.
Annie Cook for service. One of 2 setters in Houston's 6-2 rotation. Picks up the ace. 4th of the day for the Cougars.
Cook targeting Jams Wheeler in the back row as she doesn't want to serve the libero, and we see Bolton come in trying to help pinch that seam.
Cullen to Chimay. Continuation and another chance for Naya. Denied. Ramon and Corielli.
Ramon making her presence known here at the net. She had all the time in the world to set up on that outside. She's high and over, ending that play real quick.
That one got me so fired up, I added an extra syllable to Katie's name. Corelli and Ramon on the block. On to Okamore. Cougars 2 points away from taking set 2. Stays that way.
Both of these teams bringing the heat right now. Georgiada's getting underneath these balls, extending these rallies, but SMU fighting to live another day, trying to get back into the second set.
Down by 5. After a dominant performance in set 1. They picked up the victory 25-12. Lamoran to Wheeler. Quick sets for Ramon. Set point.
Using your middles in transition is a great recipe for success. You get a good dig, they're coming in hot, you gotta aim for the sidelines, the corners. Most of the time, you're gonna score.
Barron at the line. Bolton is checked back in. Right at Georgiadis. Hits her in the ankles for the Mustang point.
Nia Chamay not done yet. Entering into double-digit kills. She's 10 on 22 attempts.
Mustangs down by 5. Set point Cougars. Grieve. Denied by Cullen. Now here's Jams Wheeler on that back line.
Jams Wheeler fighting to stay in right here. Precisely putting that ball in the deep 5 corner right at the feet of the line judge.
Bolton. Received by Barron. Now Angela Grieve. Nice Chamay. Cullen right back to Chamay. Cross court. Long. Houston.
Team, and they're coming in to disrupt this conference. They don't want, Stanford or Louisville being the consistent winners. They want to get to the top.
Ready to begin set 3 on the hilltop. We've already seen a champion crowned in the Doubletree Invitational. Purdue with a 4-set win over Kentucky earlier. Eva Hudson had 20 digs. Season high for her. 7 blocks for Raven Colvin. Tabron on the first attack for SMU. Bolton able to dig it out. Chamay and Okamore pick up point 1 of set 3 for SMU.
Both teams so far have either started really strong or not as strong, depending on what set we're talking about here. So maybe this one's going to be a little bit tighter. They're both pretty warm now, got all the jitters and mistakes out of the way. Let's see who pulls through here in this third set.
Tied at 1 as the Cougars even things up. Marquette Ramon, redshirt junior out of Oakdale, Minnesota.
Ramon hitting 375, going to that 5 zone. That's where she's had success so far, right down that line.
Wheeler can't put it to the floor, but Chamay able to clean it up.
Super high tight ball for Chamay to go up and just dunk the ball down like she's on a basketball court.
Shallow serve for Bolton, nearly had the ace. Instead, gets tattooed by that attack.
Off the noggin of Bolton, but she's coming up all smiles, looking to hopefully make a good pass. I'm pretty sure that Houston might serve down the line to zone 1 really quick to see if she's actually all right.
Here's Kate Georgiadis. out of College Station, Texas, now in her graduate year. Chimay and Foster unable to put it back down inbounds. Point to the Cougars.
Smart play by Grieve. She's going up. She sees four hands in her face and swiping the ball off to get a tool.
3-2 Houston. Jams Wheeler. Off hands, point to the Mustangs.
Wheeler barely grazing the tips of that Houston block, but keeping them tied up here, 3-3.
Katie Corelli and Ella Wendell going over to try to knock down the attack from Wheeler. Tied at 3. Long from Brooke Frazier. Service errors were a major problem in SMU's loss last week to Loyola Marymount. Cleaned that up Tuesday against Baylor and yesterday against Kentucky. 6 so far today from the service line.
We know the name of the game is serve and pass. You got to serve tough, but you got to serve in, and you got to pass good enough to run your offense, keeping the other side on their toes and keeping yourself unpredictable.
Kentucky had several more service errors than SMU did yesterday, but made up for it by a lot more aces, too.
Kentucky's a really good serving team. We're sitting here watching them throw bullets over the net, and SMU cannot respond.
Cullen back set to Foster down the line. Off fingers, point to the Ponies.
You know, anytime Cullen is a good pass, it's on the net, and Foster is front row, you gotta know that she's going off that 1 foot on the slide. That's where she likes to find her success.
Wheeler. Mustangs keep it going. Tabron and Bolton. But Houston still picks up the point.
SMU in chaos. Tabron using the net as a tool as she put it back and bounced out, sending over a free ball, and Houston capitalizing on that, going off the fingers of Cullen.
Angela Grieve, grad student from Jupiter, Florida, has an ace. Second of the day for her, 5th for the Cougars overall.
5 aces for Houston, only 1 for SMU. They've got to step up in this rotation passing. They've got Foster. They have to put up a good enough ball to use her.
Cullen to Tabron. Hard task there for Rebecca Rockison.
Still not a perfect pass. Cullen throwing it over her shoulder, but SMU finding success when they're hitting down the line from the outside.
Natalie Foster, transfer from Wichita State. Lily Barron, Tabron is there to deny her. Back row attack from Angela Grieve is good.
Angela Grieve knows that Foster's serving. She's playing left back. I'm swinging to her. You know, middles love to dig, maybe some more than others, but finding Foster, shaking it off, and able to go back, looking for another service run.
Back to Ella Wendell. Wendell has a couple of digs, 1 kill. Okamore thought she had a point there. Houston barely keeps the ball off the floor. This time they can't do it. Give Okamore multiple chances. She'll take advantage.
Grieve making a great move on that first dig, but Okamore said no more, putting it away easily there. Again, on the slide, SMU. When Cullen is front row, they're running that slide go. And we haven't seen Cullen be too active on the dump yet, so I'm sure she's keeping that in her back pocket.
1 point Cougar lead. Make it 2. As Ramon gets the job done. 6th kill for Ramon. She's hitting .444. Best on the Cougar roster.
They're able to be in system and use Ramon when they can, just like SMU's trying to do with Oakmore, so they can relieve their pins a little bit more.
Ramon nearly had the block with Corelli, trying to go to the right side, but long.
And you know, it's tough for SMU as blockers because they have Ramon in the middle. She's only had a single block up because Shimei is so worried about Corelli on the right side because she's had so much success today too.
Eight, 7 Houston. Jams Wheeler. Couldn't tie it up. Lily Barron gives the Cougars a 2-point advantage.
Barron stapling this one into the ground, finding that gap. As we see, Bolton is shifted over pretty heavily, and Shimei's got a lot of court to cover, as well as the off-speed shot. So a hard ball in between those two is most likely to go down.
Cullen to Shimei. Nothing doing there for the Houston defense. Mustangs back within 1.
Nia Shimei waiting on this high ball a little bit. Cullen throwing up her hands. Hey, you know, not the perfect connection we've had before, but let's take it and run with it here.
Ellie Bolton averaged 3.6 digs per set last year for Creighton. Service error, 2.52 digs per set so far this season for SMU. 7th service error for SMU today. Houston has 3.
And they did a good job in the first set. They were toying with Houston's service Steve, throwing them deep and then putting a short ball in to try to disrupt that offense. And now these misses they're stomping on themselves.
Keep feeding Nia Shimei. 13 kills on 31 attacks, doubling the 2nd most active Mustang player.
31 attempts so far. Nia's shoulder, I'm sure, is feeling it by now, but she wants this SMU team to succeed, and she'll put them on their back as she has to. But hey, if I also have Natalie Foster in the front row now too, I'm feeding her as much as possible.
1 away from doubling Maya Tabron. She has 16 attacks. Jams Wheeler behind her with 14.
Back-to-back service errors for the Mustangs. They're at 8 total now. They have to give themselves a chance to do what they do in transition. Cullen can put the ball exactly where it needs to go if they can just get a good dig, but they got to get the ball over the net first.
Cullen to Foster. Grieve, continuation on the point on the Cougars side. Grieve again. Wide.
Tough chance there for Grieve. She's getting back-to-back sets right there, out of system. She's got Cullen and Foster in her face, so she's trying to throw over an off-speed ball to the right back. That's a tougher ball to set for Cullen, turn around after blocking, but missing out of bounds.
Jams Wheeler puts it in play. Grieve, there's Cullen and Foster teaming up.
And that's exactly why Houston was going to that off-speed shot right there, because even though Cullen is a setter, she's touching over 10 foot just blocking. So she is a threat there, and you have...
Cullen at the net again. Violation on Houston, so Cullen does not get credit there, but she does have 5 blocks already today.
SMU definitely wanting to take advantage of this call here as they're finally in the lead in this 3rd set. They've been trailing for a little bit, and you know, they're looking at each other with a serious look on their face. Right now, we don't really see that joy that Coach Erger was talking about. Lots of smiles. They look a little stressed out, as you know, they don't want to go on their home court with 2 losses in this tournament. They're looking to find a win here and push it to 4.
A look of confusion from Sam Erger. She approaches Ron Stahl for an explanation.
Cullen definitely not satisfied with that call. Sam, either she's a fighter and she's going to do what she has to do with these refs to make sure that they get the best calls.
Tied at 12, now 13-12, the Mustang advantage. Fighting back in set 3.
Cullen going all the way across court, making the long set. Tabron super smart, coming in, tipping it over. Those blockers' hands in there, reaching back, trying to save it up, but now finding themselves receiving Foster's deathly arm.
Point to the Cougars as these teams continue to trade body blows in the third set, tied at 1 set apiece. Cullen to Tabron. Light touch, able to get the point, as all Barron could do was send it back over harmlessly out of bounds.
Tabron, you know, don't fix it if it's not broke. And that tip worked before. She repeats again, finds another point as they throw it out of bounds.
Cullen with her team leading by 1. Ramon denied to the net. SMU will start the ACC in less than 2 weeks against Georgia Tech, while Houston will open up in the Big 12 against Kansas State. Cullen feeding Okamore, and now a long pass to Barron, going long.
Barron trying to find that tee shot as Tabron is coming underneath for that off shot, leaving all the space over in zone 4. Bolton diving in to save that first shot, though, with a great dig and then forcing her to miss out of bounds.
3-0 run for SMU, make it 4.
SMU's second ace of the night, and coming from Celia Cullen, who's taken serving very personally here in this offseason, as she definitely wanted to be tougher behind the line.
When she was subbed out last year, nearly every time that she was due to come to the service line, she lost assist opportunities. And when you look at numbers around the country, generally need about 11 assists per set to have a good shot earning All-American status, and her game is as good as an All-American's should be, but just you have to look at those raw numbers sometimes.
Absolutely. So those, 3 or 4 points that she's out for serving, she definitely could have reached those numbers that she was at, like 10.59, something like that. So she wanted to be a part of that All-American group.
Well, Cullen has 5 blocks on the day. Previous season high was 3. That came last week against Loyola Marymount, that she continues to thrive on defense for the Ponies. We talked off the top of the show, Chanel, about how well she's doing as the quarterback, solid as the setter, great passes all over the floor, but defense and service line have been 2 huge points of improvement.
Yep, those are 2 areas where she's looking to step up in, but the way that she handles the ball and feeds her team, she has so many weapons on the pins, in the middles, and she does a great job of distributing the ball evenly throughout the match. So she can find a couple extra points, whether she's at the net, active herself, super aggressive on the dump that she likes to throw over with that left hand, or throw in an ace behind the service line. She wants to do anything she can to help her team push forward.
In addition to all of this praise we want to heap on her for her play on the floor, she's an academic All-American. Point to the Cougars.
It only makes sense. She's so smart on the court. It's got to leak off into the books as well. But some people say they got you're book smart. Some people say you're street smart. If she's street smart, we'll have to ask in post game maybe and see what her teammates say about it. But so far, she's showing up right here in the stat book.
4.0 GPA is a sport management major at Southern Methodist University. Not easy to come by. Off the scoreboard and down to the floor. Houston can't return it. May have grazed that bottom light.
Yep, Georgiades getting under it, and then Cook not being able to change direction as it's hitting the scoreboard off right here. And, you know, SMU has stopped heading cross court because Georgiades only has 11. She has 11 digs so far, and she is creating momentum for this team defensively. You can see that presence, that fire that she brings, especially when she's creating plays like that. So they've tried to go down the line when they can more often than not.
Cullen to Chimay, 15 kills for Chimay, 28 assists for Cullen.
Chimay must have heard me because she said, nope, I'm going deep five right here as it's wide open between the blockers and defensive players.
Timeout called by David Rare and the Houston Cougars as SMU is now out to a 19-14 advantage in this swing set. Tied 1 apiece. Well, Chimay reaching a milestone earlier this week against
Okamore out of the SEC from a really good Florida team to bring that monstrous block over here has helped them win against ranked teams.
Out of the timeout, service ace for Tabron. Third of the day for SMU. First two coming from Wheeler and Cullen. A little too strong on the kick there from Ellie Bolton, trying to send that one off the floor. Hopefully everybody's okay.
That was a little wee moment when you're bowling and the ball accidentally gets flown backwards and you see all the people go, woo, and they all stand back.
Everybody on the floor still laughing about it. When her volleyball eligibility runs out, I'm sure she'll be welcome over at Washburn Stadium. Here's James Wheeler. Ramon on the block attempt. Out of bounds, point to the Ponies. This is a 4-0 run for SMU.
Wheeler now with her 7th kill, hitting .375. Natalie Foster is at .636. Chimay, .294. Maya Tabron, .222. All of them producing for this SMU offense. Cullen spreading it out really well.
Long on service. That's 9 service errors for SMU, tripling Houston's total of 3.
And Houston also having 5 aces to SMU's 3. Make that 6.
The SMU lead is trimmed to 21-16. And Nia Chimay. 35 swings.
Big swing here from Chimay, and now we're seeing that smile comfortably here now at 22, 3 points away from taking set 3.
Bolton off the mark. You never know how a team is going to react after being swept. Both of these teams suffering that fate yesterday. Houston against Purdue, SMU against Kentucky. Wheeler. Now here's Greaves sending it over. Bolton right back to Jams. Off high hands, point, Mustangs. Wheeler has 8 kills. She's nearly at a double-double. 8 kills, 9 digs.
Wheeler with a lot of confidence as that first attempt, Cook was able to get a nice hook on it and dig it up and try to get a good out-of-system swing, but they repeated again, this time making an adjustment, going a little bit deeper and finding a kill.
23-17, and Brooke Frazier checks back in. Texas A&M transfer in her 2nd season at SMU. Kate Corelli jams Wheeler into the broadcast table, keeping the ball alive. Tabron knocks it down. All-around effort for that point. Wheeler flying into the table. You see it here, up close and personal with us.
I love it when they come say hi to us during a match. It's always nice to catch up really fast as they're in the middle of a pretty serious match.
And Tabron with the exclamation point to get SMU to set point. Corelli denied as Bolton goes diving. Corelli again meeting Foster and Wheeler. Long pass to Wheeler. Good to win the set. All praise. Had 6 last year in this tournament against Texas Tech.
So far, Collins handling the ball really well with 30 assists and also got 10 good digs under her belt.
Nady Okamore's pretty good too. That's 7 blocks for her.
She loves being a threat at the net, not only offensively, but she wants to shut you down. She doesn't want to give you a chance for you to even break through to their defenders. She trusts them, but she wants to do it herself.
Cullen, her second ace of the day.
Cullen doing a great job of putting over a low, flat, and fast float on these Houston passers.
Two-0 Mustangs. First swing for Grieve. Dug out by Bolton. Tabron can't put it down. Now coming from the back row, it's Lily Barron. The freshman with the first point of the set for Houston.
And we haven't seen them utilize that back row attack often, even though SMU did see a lot of that last night from delay when they faced Kentucky. So now they got to beware of another threat coming over from Houston's side.
Nice Chimay trying to go cross court. Unable to get it inbounds. Tied at 2. You mentioned the option for coaches to change their liberos after each set and have up to 2 on the floor, and SMU has made a change in that area. Bolton remains, but now instead of Lamarand, it's Natalie Perdue in the second libero jersey.
And Erger told us in the beginning that she kind of would tinker with the idea of having Perdue in the libero jersey, as we normally see her on that pin swinging on the outside. But her passing is so good, they've got to find a way to get her on and off the court easily, and they're able to save subs by doing that when they need help in servicing.
Going to Tabron, long into the Houston bench. Still early, and with that rule change, coaches across the country finding different ways to be creative utilizing that new rule.
Yep, a lot of coaches are using it as one libero is in for serve receive, the other is in for defense, depending on who's stronger and what position. But a lot of them like to just stick with one, especially when you have a libero like Houston's Katie Georgiata. She does it all.
That's Katie Corelli knocking it down for Houston. 8 kills for her, second best for the Cougars, as Angela Grieve has 10.
And we saw Corelli have a really hot start for Houston in set 2. She kind of went ghost there for a second in set 3, so I'm sure they're going to try to find a way to utilize her more to stay alive and maybe go to 5.
Annie Cook, graduate student from the Woodlands, puts the ball in play. Tabron, dug out by Cook. Corelli, air on the attack into the net.
Trying to receive it out of system set there, but I think one was going tempo and the other player was waiting for a high ball. Little misconnect, tipping it right in the net, but good players, you got to find a way to make it over, make it playable, reset, and try to play defense.
Back to Chimay. Another chance for Houston. Dumped over by Cook. Unsuccessful. And into the antenna from Wheeler.
Wheeler doing her best to get her feet to that ball. It's pushed pretty far out to the pin, but finding the antenna instead of Houston's hands.
Here's Grieve. Cullen sets it up for Wheeler. Another chance for Corelli, denied. Another chance for Houston. Barron, longest rally of the fourth set so far. Corelli able to tool the block for the Cougar point, extending the University of Houston lead to 4.
Angela Grieve getting underneath this ball in defense. Cook handling it well and trusting that Corelli is going to get the job done, especially in these long rallies when they're tired, they're working hard, they're not jumping as high, but she's still bringing that power.
Some moisture being cleaned up off of this Terraflex floor, new addition to Moody Coliseum this season. It was here in time for spring practice and a spring tournament that SMU hosted, which Houston participated in. Cullen keeps it alive, then Tabron does. Long pass to Wheeler. Point goes to the Mustangs.
You know, one of the toughest things as a defender is after making such a good dig and you hear that whistle blow because your blockers were in the net. You're like, you didn't stop the ball. I dug it for you. Then you got in the net. Come on. Give me a break, man. But looking to side out here quick off of Bolton's good float serve.
That call against Corelli. Pass to Barron. Good for the Houston points. 4 kills for her.
Barron finding that vacant area there in zone 1 pretty easily and keeping the lead for Houston.
Barron's also second best in digs for Houston today, 12 of them. The only player better, 3-time conference libero of the year. Kate Georgiadis has 14. Frazier back in at the service line, checking in for Chimay. Big swing from Ramon, met by the SMU defense. Natalie Foster on the overpass, knocking that ball back down to the floor.
Great execution by Foster here. She has 2 blockers up on her on an overpass. That can be scary for a coach at times, as sometimes you just want to have them take 2 hands and pick a side, dump it down, but Natalie trusts herself, she trusts her vision, and put it in no man's land.
8 kills so far for Foster. She tied her season high with 9 kills yesterday against Kentucky. One away from meeting that number again. To the right side and off the would-be blockers. Kate Corelli in double figures now with 10 kills, matching Angela Grieve's total.
Yep, now at 10 kills. They know, Cook knows especially that I gotta go to what was working before. Think about it, let's go back, let's review the set we won. What was missing? Corelli in the 3rd set. So now we're here set 4 and she's showing up big for Houston.
Here's Alana Torres Rivera. Fresh face for Houston. Junior out of Puerto Rico. Service run ends in a hurry.
Great swing there, quick side out for them. Rivera not in there too long to go on a service run, and now looking to pass the ball. Coming off the bench, she might be a little cold, so going to zone 1 might be the good thing to do.
Wheeler instead goes to the opposite side. Cullen Up to Foster. Dug out by Grieve. Chance for Tabron. A diving Rivera. Can't keep that ball off the floor.
Completely laying out for this off speed right here. Tabron going up quick, putting it right on the 10-foot line. Houston scrambling. Another side out ball coming their way.
James Wheeler, the senior, out of Lake Travis. Both of these teams with a healthy number of Texans, and James Wheeler with her second ace of the day and of the season.
Wheeler catching Grieve high on that left shoulder. They're really working her as she's taken so many attempts hitting front row, and you're attacking her in serve receive as well, trying to wear her down, tear her down, and make her work as hard as possible so they can go somewhere else.
9-9, Mustangs and Cougars in set 4. Tabron off of Ramon for the kill.
9 kills for Tabron now, close to entering double digits herself, which I'm sure she'll find another way to get there, tied up, get up to double digits with Wheeler and Chimay. Close to 300.
4-0 run for the Mustangs. Leading 2-1. Air by Wheeler. SMU has 5 aces and 11 errors from the service line. Houston has 6 aces, 4 errors. Diving, Cullen could not get it to the proper side of the antenna, point to the Cougars.
Cullen running all around the court yesterday. I'm sure she had to recover really well last night, and again, diving on the floor. SMU's got to make it easier for their quarterback to run their offense.
Big set to Foster. Ramon, her would-be block goes sailing wide.
Good response there after an ace. They got a dime pass, able to run their middle. Foster, who's leading SMU in hitting percentage at .643, now back to serve. She's got 2 misses so far, looking for an ace here to break this tie.
Up top to Grieve. Cullen to Tabron. You mentioned Torres Rivera, maybe a little bit cold coming into this game in the 4th set. Had a couple of reception errors.
And Tabron is definitely hot. Complete opposite. She threw in a tip before. Rivera's a little shallow, trying to stab at it with one arm, and Georgieta's giving everything she's got to run it down again, like we saw earlier when she busted through her own team's bench.
Dumped over by Annie Cook, tying it at 12.
You know, something I think we've all been waiting for is both of these setters in the front row. Cook had a dump earlier as she was pulled off the net there. Tight ball, she's able to go up with 2 hands. But Cullen, we haven't seen too active yet on the dump. Be interested to see how she responds here if they get a dime pass.
12-12. Tabron gives SMU the lead again.
Tabron playing mind games here with that right back defender, throwing in a tip earlier. 2nd attempt, kill down the line. 3rd attempt, another tip. Grieve coming in hot, trying to save the day, but can't get there.
Tabron and Wheeler both with 11 kills. Chimay has 16. That was the 35th assist of the day for Cullen. Grieve puts it in front of Wheeler into the side of Cullen.
Grieve keeping it close in this set right here, giving it about a 50% swing. Roll shotting right in between the 2 SMU defenders, catching them off guard.
Leads to an Annie Cook serve. Cook had a team leading 17 assists yesterday. in Houston's 3-set loss to Purdue. 21 assists so far in this game.
A lot of those assists are coming from Angela Grieve. She's got 11 kills so far, but leading in total attempts with 42 swings just in this match.
Big time heat from Maya Tabron. Built differently.
Tabron is all alone on the right side there, just drooling at the mouth for this kill, and she executes the seam, putting it away, no doubt about it.
I need the radar gun.
Somebody definitely has one in here, but I think only on the serves, unfortunately. That would have been a good one. Tough run, though. After a big kill, got a lot of momentum in putting the ball in the net. Got to try to make that one over.
14-14. Going to Chimay. On the line. David Rare immediately pops up. As we will take a break. SMU first.
I was so excited when I heard this sandwich.
12 kills for Maya Tabron on the day, hitting a .321 clip, also a force at the net, 3 blocks.
She is smoking hot right now, especially here in this 4-set. 12 kills, 28 attempts, and also 8 digs. She's a solid all-around player, passing really well for SMU too. Her leadership is pulling through right now. That experience, having this 5th year here at SMU, is going to help them try to close out this 4-set here. But I mean, 15-14, both teams going neck and neck so far, trading points pretty equally.
Huge get out of the transfer portal for Sam Erger and her staff, coming over from Colorado. And the Cougars even up set 4 at 15.
Corelli there, really smart tip for her 11th kill, throwing it really close along the net there, making it really hard defensively for Colin to get to.
Juliana Dalton into the match for the first time today. Senior out of Parker, Colorado. Cook to Barron. Now Cullen feeds Wheeler. Tied at 15. And SMU with a great chance here. Chimay tools the block. Point Ponies.
Foster getting a chance for that free ball, going up, pulling that blocker, but Chimay able to get a full approach, letting loose on that right side attack.
Here's Frazier. Coach Sam Erger says she will always find ways to get her into the lineup. Just a matter of where.
And that's the beauty of having such depth on this team. She has multiple players who are able to do so many things. They're able to find a way to make sure that they're giving something on this court, whether it's communication, serving, coverage, defense.
Katie Corelli with the latest kill for Houston, adding to her team leading total. It's now at 12.
And Corelli's shot right before this was tight along the net, so Colin was a little further back than she was the previous play, and then mixing it up, going more towards the campfire shot. Colin laying out, not being able to get there, so really high IQ play there.
Jams Wheeler. And by Grieve on the overpass, Natalie Foster gets the job done.
Foster not even unleashing on this ball. She takes the smart move, goes up, throws it where no one is standing, in hopes that Wheeler goes on a run for this team as they're closing in, getting close to 20 points here.
Wheeler into the net. And after that latest happy birthday to Natalie Foster, how about we throw in another happy birthday?
To who, Chris?
You know, Chanel, if we only have one viewer on a broadcast, I know exactly who it is, and it's my mom. So
Aww.
happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday, Mom. Glad you're watching.
I know we have many more than that today, though, for this showdown between old rivals. Houston and SMU tied at 17 in set 4. No longer the case. Mustangs retake the lead.
All smiles for Tabron right here as she is just producing kill after kill after kill. Houston can't slow her down.
Natalie Foster on service, entering today, 3rd best in the ACC on aces. Bianca Bertolino from Georgia Tech leads the pack with 21. Then Jordan Harvey with 20, and Natalie Foster now tied with Harvey for 2nd place in the ACC with 20 aces on the season.
Yep. Houston, we have got a problem. You have one of the best servers in conference at the end line. You got to get a touch on the ball and try to side out quicker before she ends it out.
Jordan Harvey and the Cardinal have a huge match coming up next week as the Texas Longhorns will be in Palo Alto for a primetime affair on ESPN. Looking forward to that showdown. SEC, ACC. Pitt leading the way in the poll rather, and 6-0 in the conference. Their most impressive win so far, they handed South Carolina their only loss. But again, somebody near the bottom of the pack in the Big 12 may need to watch out for a hot start for Arizona, 8-0.
Yep, and TCU breaking through into the top 25 for the first time in program history as they beat Minnesota in the Big 12, Big 10 matchup down in Waco to finish up their 4-year lap.
Horned Frogs picked to finish 4th. Need to check in on Syracuse, though. Undefeated entering the day, playing Idaho today. Vandals were giving them a very hard time. Orange may have suffered loss number 1.
You know, being at the bottom of the pack, you got to make a preseason to help you climb the ladder. So that 6-0 run they have right now is going to help push them to a better in-season performance, they're hoping.
Tabron thought she had the kill down the line. So Sam Erger will challenge that call.
Challenging in and out.
Thank you, Ron Stahl. 19-19 is how it stands right now. Coach Erger hoping to get this call overturned, and just outside the line it appears.
Yep, and that's a great shot right here. It has to be any part of the ball touching the line, but it looks like it's just a centimeter off inside the blue on the Terraflex. Maya Tabron looking to get her 14th kill, but not sure she's going to get it here. But Sam Erger's got to do what she's got to do.
Ball is out.
There you go. It'll stay 19-19. On the attack, error by Tabron. SMU started its week by sweeping Baylor, 18th ranked team in the country, on the road in Waco. Then lost to 10th ranked Kentucky yesterday in 3. Looking to end the week on a high note. Mustangs retake the lead, 20-19.
Looks like we're going to get another challenge, though, from the opposing team.
David Rare pulling out the card. A little smile there.
Challenging in and out.
Smile from Ron Stahl as he motioned up to Lori Nelson on the high side. Back to back, really?
Call is in, call stands.
Well, that was quick. That might have been the quickest review we've had in 2 years together, Chanel.
He called it before we even saw the ball land, but I mean, the entire Houston bench was screaming out of bounds as it went over Rivera's head. That one did catch just the last part of the white tape.
Here's Cohen. Chimay and Okamore teaming up on the block for SMU. 14 blocks for the Ponies today.
Huge block right here as they are entering into the last few points of this set, looking to close out the match, and they're doing it early right here at the net with Nia Chimay and Okamore.
Chimay with 4 blocks. Okamore with 8. Getting close to matching her season high. She had 9 against Nebraska. That one tooled off of Chimay.
Greaves says, no, 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 not done yet. We're here, we want to fight. Feed me the ball. I'm sure her and Cook are gonna connect a lot right here.
Cougars within 1 and sending their graduate student setter back to the service line. Annie Cook, two-time all-conference choice in the American. Here's Tabron off of Barron and behind the Houston bench. 2-point Mustang lead.
And why not go to Tabron? She has killed almost everything she's touched in this set so far. Going back to serve, she missed the last one after her monstrous kill, so I know she's telling herself, get it in and let's finish this out.
And Georgiadis. Borelli picks up the point. Cougars within 1 again.
Pulling on the dig there, but going off the scoreboard and entering the other side of the court, therefore going out of bounds with the call.
Cohen to Chimay. Cook was there. Now Barron denied. Right back to her. Cohen setting it up for Chimay. Barron alongside Wendell.
Freshman Barron making a smart move as that ball was set pretty tight. They only had one option, trying to throw it over, but couldn't recycle her own ball.
22 all. Timeout for Sam Erger. SMU 3 points, so even if you have one team dominate on day 1.
Yeah, I mean, playing any team back-to-back is going to be hard. Just back-to-back in general, if it's 2 different teams, is tough, just because the caliber these girls are playing at and the level of just pure athleticism, energy exerting that they're doing during these games when they're going long. But back-to-back, same team, you got to watch film quick, and the coaching staff has to make adjustments. A lot of time, they're not getting much sleep on that first night because they have to be able to fix what went wrong quickly and being able to execute.
Get the radar gun back out for Nadie Okamore.
Okamore leaving a dent in the floor before she has to go off for Bolton to serve, but she got around town on this slide set right here, willing her team to push 2 more to end set 4.
Bolton hoping to end it at the service line. Mustangs need just 1 more point to take the match. Foster and Wheeler.
Natalie Foster racking up her 7th block of the night, only fitting as she has been so good, so consistently for SMU.
24-22, Mustangs over the Cougars in the finale of the Doubletree Invitational. SMU
In her 3rd season, she does such a good job attracting talented athletes here to what she thinks is the best city to be playing sports. You have so many professional teams and soon coming professional volleyball team here as well, so might as well be a hub for collegiate volleyball.
out of the timeouts. SMU can close the match. Match point with Ellie Bolton at the service line. 24-22 Mustangs. Service ace, nearly had it to end the match. Cullen to jams, and that will do it.
Great serve from Bolton. Easy ball over the net, and pounding away goes Wheeler to snag this 4-set win.